Thanks for joining us again. Please feel welcome to our space where the mysteries are being revealed. As it is written, Yacobe have I loved, but Esau have I hated. It's often said that SoNini NaNini loves whom he chooses and hates whom he wills, suggesting that his decisions are beyond human influence. However, if we accept this notion fully, wouldn't it contradict the biblical teachings about his character? Throughout Scripture we see that SoNini NaNini blesses, curses, shows mercy and punishes based on human actions and thoughts. Those who obey his will receive blessings and mercy, while those who reject his commandments face curses and destruction. Deuteronomy chapter 30 verses 15 to 20 states 15, "See, I have set before you today life and good, death and evil." 16, "I command you to love SoNini NaNini your Almighty, walk in his ways and keep his commandments that you may live and prosper." 17 to 18, "But if your heart turns away and you do not hear, but are drawn away to worship gods, I declare to you that you shall surely perish." 19 to 20, "I call heaven and earth to witness against you today. I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that you and your descendants may live." In Romans chapter 1 verses 28 to 32, Paul elaborates on the consequences of rejecting SoNini NaNini, illustrating that those who turn away face judgment. So what does Romans chapter 9 verse 13 mean when it states, "Yacobe I loved and Esau I hated"? Romans chapter 9 verses 14 to 16 continues. 14, "What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with SoNini NaNini? By no means." 15, "For he says to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy." 16, "So then, it is not of him who wills nor of him who runs, but of SoNini NaNini who shows mercy." Clearly SoNini NaNini shows mercy based on our choices between good and evil, as outlined in Deuteronomy. But why did he express hatred towards Esau? Some suggest it was due to Esau selling his birthright, yet the scripture does not label this as a sin, as seen in Genesis chapter 25. Instead it was Yacobe who persuaded him to sell it. Others argue that SoNini NaNini hated Esau because he sought to harm Yacobe, but after Esau forgave Yacobe, would SoNini NaNini, who advocates forgiveness, continue to harbor hatred? Some believe it was Esau's marriage to a foreign woman that drew SoNini NaNini's disdain. While his parents were displeased, the scriptures do not indicate that SoNini NaNini hated him for this, as noted in Genesis chapter 26 verses 34 to 35. In reality, SoNini NaNini's hatred was directed towards Edom, the descendants of Esau, rather than Esau himself. This distinction is important as the scriptures clarify why he opposed Edom. Genesis chapter 36 verses 8 to 9 states that Esau is Edom, establishing this connection. The Apostle Paul references Malachi chapter 1 verses 2 to 4 where SoNini NaNini states, "I have loved you," says SoNini NaNini. "Yet you say, how have you loved us? Was not Esau Yacobe's brother," says SoNini NaNini, "yet I loved Yacobe and I hated Esau. I laid waste his mountains and heritage for the jackals of the wilderness." Though Edom says, "We are impoverished, but we will return and build," SoNini NaNini of hosts says, "They shall build, but I will throw down." To understand why SoNini NaNini opposed Edom, we can look to scriptures that highlight Edom's transgressions against Yacobe. Numbers chapter 20 verses 14 to 21 recounts how Edom refused to allow Yacobe to pass through their territory, even after a peaceful request. Edom responded with hostility. Amos chapter 1 verse 11 proclaims that SoNini NaNini will not overlook Edom's violence towards Yacobe. Obadiah chapter 1 verses 10 to 11 emphasizes that Edom's actions against Yacobe would lead to their downfall. These passages illustrate that "I hate Esau" pertains not to Esau himself, but to his descendants, the Edomites, who acted violently against Yacobe. Thus, we see a profound message of brotherhood and conflict, emphasizing the consequences of choices made in enmity. It was a pleasure having you with us again. See you next time.